So what happened? The Google employee who made the controversial quotes, air quotes, diversity memo, he got fired. And this is just another symptom of the viciousness we're seeing from the social justice warriors. They are ruining and attempting to ruin nearly everything in our country. And our media platforms, our companies, they are just infesting themselves everywhere, and it's getting ridiculous. Let's take a look at, here are some tweets that Business Insider graciously archived for us. Like, for example, Louis Gray saying the dock was a disaster from a truly bad place, pure toxicity. Be assured we are all with you and feeling the same. So, we just have more examples of social justice warriors, radical leftists who manipulate reality, and they say everyone's with them. They always do these kind of things. Leftists always do this. Like, oh, it's a known fact. Everyone knows the Russian conspiracy is true. Blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows transgendered people are not mentally ill and can totally fight in the military. So we have some more people like Sarah Adams. This article is publicly supported by many people internally, begs the question, how many privately support / agree / subscribe? He's not been fired for this writing. The screen is still accessible by all employees. This garbage fiber document is trash, and you're all wonderful coworkers who I'm extremely lucky to work with. These people are just completely vicious. And also, they are doing a witch hunt. They want to make sure anyone who thinks like this can't be hired by anyone. And it's pretty ridiculous. I agree in principle, but as a hiring manager, I would want to make sure I stayed far away from this person. As a person gave a very, very respectful rebuttal, how we shouldn't single out individuals. But it's pretty funny. Here we go. This is a little bit off topic, but this just talks about Google in general and how they are just a monopoly. And if we let a monopoly get taken over by social justice warriors, we are in for a hell of a time. Now, this guy was just talking about how Yelp was hating on Google because Google was putting advertisements above their own searches, which they actually did do for a while, and they stopped after they got sued by Yelp, which it says they got sued later on in the article for oh, it says it right here. They got fined for $2.7 billion. I found this article searching Yahoo because if you search in Google, you don't really find any of these articles, which is more evidence that Google manipulates its searches. Now, you probably could find this if you put in the exact thing, but I just typed in how to fight against Google. And I found tons of articles on Yahoo search about how, like, people fighting against Google and stuff like that. But when I typed in Google at first, I got nothing. Like, how to fight Google. You get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, oh, let's go to Yahoo. Yahoo.com. How to fight Google. So, how to fight Google when? We get tons of these articles, and I'm not exactly sure where exactly I found it in here, but I was just clicking through all these different links and I found it. But it's funny because this article talks about it pretty plainly. Says, still, Yelp and other American technology companies pushed hard to get regulators to issue a bold condemnation of Google's behavior towards competitors, signing a letter that accused Google of destroying jobs and stifling innovation, and by affirming that Google is the dominant company in online search, something that most people take for granted. Tuesday's decision is likely to help Yelp's case. So if we scroll down a little bit more, here's another good tidbit. The dispute would be moot if people were in the habit of using a variety of search engines. Google has become so universally known and depended upon that it is sometimes hard to remember that it is a company and exists to make money. And it also says somewhere that they are technically in a monopoly, which they are. Who uses Yahoo Search? I'm going to start using Yahoo Search. I mean, Google is being taken over by the social justice warriors. Until Google gives some kind of signal, that virtue signal, that it is not going to be following down this path, we should start boycotting Google. Now, here I am using Google Chrome, but I literally just installed Opera. I imported all my data from Google Chrome into Opera. I am about to start using Opera solely. Opera actually is a great browser in general. Looks a lot better. Has some little cool things right here. I didn't think this bar would be good until I started using it. You can use like Facebook Messenger stuff, and it opens up a little thing. Doesn't even have to open up Facebook, which is pretty cool. But maybe we should start boycotting Facebook soon if we can find something everyone can agree upon. But we just need to fight against these guys. We need to be more vicious against them. We are not vicious enough. These guys are taking over the comic book industry. They're trying to take over the gaming industry. They are doing a really good job at taking over our corporations like Google and stuff. Now, what's going to happen when these social justice warriors are just infested all in our corporations and all in our politics and everything? They're not... Say they're not just regulated or bottled into the Democrat Party. I mean, we don't see any social justice warriors in the right, but if the right kind of disappears and we have a lot of party shifts and stuff, or the business Democrats and all the blue-collar Democrats don't take back that party, it's seriously going to just be a social justice party. And you goddamn right, they are going to do everything in their power to manipulate and brainwash everyone. And you know they're gonna do every dirty trick in the book. They still say the Russian conspiracy is true. They still go on those fake polls that Trump is losing, that he has no approval rating. They're saying he has like 6 or whatever percent approval rating, 16%, 6%, 16%, whatever. They are saying it's ridiculously low, when that's not true. They're trying to say, based on CNN polls, that Trump has no base anymore. They just manipulate reality, and you can see that here. Be assured we are all with you and feeling the same. They are just trying to be the narrative themselves. And I don't know what happened the past 4 or 5 years, but it wasn't this bad when I was a kid. I mean, I'm 25 now, but I remember when I was like 18, people weren't this terrible over politics. I was actually liberal back then, and the worst thing I hated was Christians trying to regulate my music and video games, which became a total non-issue after a while, because now the Democrats, which I used to support years ago, are trying to regulate everything. Social interactions. I mean, when you get to the point where you're regulating social interactions to a degree that these people are, they are the toxicity. It's funny. They say we're toxic. They are the definition of toxic. They seep in, they infest everything, and then they take control and kill it. So, that's just all I wanted to say. We need to figure out better ways to fight against these things. Because it's just going to get worse from here.